What if I told you the United States once lost a piece of its land? Not to a war, not to a foreign army, but to 50 angry farmers who declared themselves a brand new country? Deep in northern New Hampshire lies a tiny, almost forgotten valley, home to just a handful of farmers and settlers. What happened here is one of the strangest chapters in American history. For a few wild years, this tiny corner of the world declared itself a full-fledged country, called the Republic of Indian Stream. And yes, but it was a real, fully functioning country, with its own laws, its own flag, its own government, and a border so confusing that even the US and Britain had no idea who actually owned the place. It all started with a treaty written in the 1700s, a treaty that was supposed to define the US-Canada border, but the wording was so vague and so badly written that two powerful nations spent decades arguing over one valley of forest. And while the United States and Great Britain kept fighting over paperwork, the people living in that valley got tired of waiting. So in 1832, the residents made a decision that sounds impossible today. Fine. If neither of you can decide who owns us, we'll become our own country. They wrote their own constitution. They created their own court. They even built their own militia, 100 men strong. For a few wild years, Indian Stream operated as an independent nation inside the borders of the US. But the strangest part? The US and Britain both kept sending tax collectors, demanding money. And the citizens said, "Nope, we already have our own government." That didn't go well. One day, a group of American officials stormed into Indian Stream and tried to arrest a resident. The Indian Stream militia showed up armed. The British side got involved, and suddenly a tiny independent country in the forest accidentally triggered an international crisis. Shots were fired. People were arrested. Newspapers across the Northeast panicked, saying a mini-war had started. And remember, this was all happening because of one badly written treaty line. Eventually, Washington stepped in to stop the chaos. In 1835, after 3 years of accidental independence, the U.S. officially annexed Indian Stream and pulled it firmly under American control. Today, almost nobody knows about it. No signs on the road, no museum, just a quiet rural area that once declared itself a sovereign nation because two empires couldn't agree on a map. But think about it. For 3 years, in the middle of New England, there existed a forgotten country with a flag, a militia, a government, and a population that simply said, "We belong to no one." A tiny rebellion, a border mistake, a lost nation inside America. The Republic of Indian Stream, the country that shouldn't have existed, but absolutely did.